Ever wondered which countries women love sex the most? Today, we're delving into this fascinating topic, not based on stereotypes or assumptions, but on comprehensive surveys and studies from around the globe. Well, buckle up, because we have some surprising answers for you. Before we dive into the rankings, let's set some context. It's crucial to remember that the focus of our discussion today isn't about promiscuity or any form of judgment. Instead, our conversation revolves around sexual health and satisfaction, two elements that play a significant role in overall well-being. Sexual health is more than just the absence of diseases or dysfunctions. It's a state of physical, emotional, mental, and social well-being related to sexuality. It's about having a positive and respectful approach to sexuality and sexual relationships, along with the possibility of having pleasurable and safe sexual experiences, free of coercion, discrimination, and violence. On the other hand, sexual satisfaction is about contentment. It's about feeling fulfilled in your sexual life, which can significantly contribute to your happiness, stress levels, and overall quality of life. It's about being able to express your sexual desires openly and honestly, and having those desires respected and reciprocated. In a world where conversations about sex are often stigmatized or brushed under the rug, addressing these issues is critical. It's about time we break these barriers and start having open discussions about our sexual health and satisfaction. It's vital for our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Now, with that important context in mind, let's move on to the rankings. You might be surprised by some of the results. Let's dive straight into the top 3 countries where women are reportedly having the most satisfying intimate experiences, according to numerous surveys and studies. First up, we have France. Now, this might not come as a shock to many. After all, France is often associated with love, romance, and passion. It's a culture that celebrates intimacy and expression of love in its many forms. French women are known for their confident and open attitudes towards their desires, which could be a significant factor in their satisfaction levels. Next is Nigeria. This might come as a surprise to some. However, studies suggest that Nigerian women have high levels of satisfaction. Some potential reasons could be the cultural emphasis on marital contentment and the traditional teachings around intimacy in some Nigerian communities. It's also important to remember that Nigeria is a diverse country with numerous ethnic groups, each with their own unique perspectives and practices. Finally, we have Canada. Canadian women reported high levels of satisfaction, which could be attributed to the country's progressive attitudes towards women's rights and sexual health education. Canadians are known to be open-minded and accepting, which could foster a positive environment for women to explore and express their desires. Now, these rankings aren't definitive. They're based on self-reported surveys and studies, which could be influenced by a variety of factors. For instance, cultural norms could impact how willing individuals are to discuss their intimate experiences openly. Furthermore, it's important to note that satisfaction doesn't equate to frequency. A country where women report high satisfaction levels doesn't necessarily mean they're engaging in intimate activities more often than women in other countries. It could just mean that when they do, they're more likely to have a satisfying experience. But the surprises don't end there. Ready for more surprises? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because there are still more revelations to come. As we continue our fascinating journey, let's uncover the next 3 countries where women reportedly have the most affection for, let's say, intimate pursuits. Sliding into the 6th spot, we find the fiery and passionate ladies of Spain. Could it be the sultry flamenco dances or the romantic Spanish guitar that stirs such passion? Or is it the country's relaxed approach to life with its famous siestas and fiestas that allows for more time for, recreational activities? Next, in the 7th position, we have the women of France, the land known universally for love and romance. With the city of Paris, the renowned City of Love, at its heart, it's hardly a surprise that France makes the list. Perhaps it's the French philosophy of joie de vivre, the joy of living, that encourages a more open and expressive approach to love and intimacy. And in 8th place, we find the women of Brazil. With the country's reputation for vibrant carnivals and samba dancing, it's not hard to imagine that Brazilians carry this energy and zest for life into their private affairs. Could the sultry rhythms of the samba be a metaphor for the rhythm of love in this tropical paradise? But remember, these rankings aren't about passing judgment or making assumptions. Instead, they serve as an interesting look into different cultural attitudes toward intimacy across the globe. It's a reminder that love, passion, and intimacy are universal, but the ways we express and experience them can greatly vary from one culture to another. And now for the final reveal. The country where women reportedly love sex the most is... Drumroll, please! Nigeria! Yes, you heard it right. Nigeria tops the list according to various surveys. Now, you might be asking, why Nigeria? Well, it's an intriguing question. There are a few hypotheses that could potentially explain this phenomenon. Let's dive into some of them. Firstly, it's important to note that Nigeria, being the most populous country in Africa, has a diverse cultural landscape. The traditional norms and values in many of these cultures place a high emphasis on sexual satisfaction in the context of marriage. This might contribute to greater sexual openness and enjoyment among Nigerian women. Secondly, Nigeria has been progressively improving its education system, particularly in the area of sexual education. Comprehensive sex education not only promotes safe sex, but also encourages open conversations about sexual desires and satisfaction. This could potentially lead to a more positive attitude towards sex among women. Lastly, societal attitudes towards sex in Nigeria might also play a role. In many societies across the world, there's a stigma attached to women expressing their sexual desires. However, in Nigeria, there seems to be a greater acceptance of women's sexuality. This acceptance could foster an environment where women feel more comfortable expressing their love for sex. Of course, it's also worth mentioning that these are survey results and they might not fully represent every individual's experiences or feelings. Factors such as the willingness to participate in such surveys or the honesty in responses can significantly affect the results. In conclusion, while it's fascinating to see Nigeria topping the list, it's a reminder of the complex interplay of cultural, educational, and societal factors that shape our attitudes towards sex. It's a testament to the fact that our sexual experiences and preferences are influenced by far more than just our individual desires or biological drives. They're deeply woven into the fabric of our societies and cultures. But remember, these are just survey results. So, what have we learned from these results? We've embarked on a fascinating journey across the globe, exploring an aspect of human nature that often goes unspoken. We've delved into the intimate lives of people from various cultures and societies and discovered that when it comes to sexual satisfaction, there's a lot more than meets the eye. Our exploration began with a provocative question. Which country do women love sex the most in? This led us to uncover surprising results, where we found that the answer is not as straightforward as one might think. It's not just about frequency or quantity, but also about quality. We found that there are countries where women report high levels of satisfaction and openness about their sexual experiences. This openness often correlates with societies that encourage open discussion about sex and provide comprehensive sexual education. On the flip side, we also found societies where sexual satisfaction is lower, often due to societal norms, lack of education, or other factors. This just goes to show how cultural and societal influences can significantly impact one's sexual satisfaction. In the final reveal, we discovered that ultimately, it's not about which country wins in terms of where women love sex the most. Instead, it's about the importance of sexual satisfaction and openness in contributing to overall well-being. Sex is a natural part of life, and being able to discuss it openly, understand it better, and enjoy it contributes to a healthier and happier life. It's not a competition, and there's no need to compare or rank countries in this regard. Instead, let's focus on fostering spaces where open discussions about sex can take place, where sexual education is prioritized, and where everyone, regardless of gender, can feel comfortable and safe expressing their sexual needs and desires. In conclusion, the key takeaway from our exploration is that sexual satisfaction and openness are important aspects of overall well-being. These aspects vary widely across different cultures and societies, and there's a lot we can learn from each other in this regard. Remember, sex isn't a competition. It's about mutual satisfaction and respect. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.